What up, fam? Today we're talking about strength training for distance running. Make sure you read the description before watching this video. This is just my strength routine. I'm going to go through what I do and what has benefited me and would benefit other runners in performing their best and trying to stay injury free. I also critique my own form because I am probably making just as common lifting mistakes or strength training mistakes as some other runners do. So, and this is kind of like filmed like through sets, so we'll probably come back to this. But right now, I am doing a goblet squat. So the purpose is pretty much of all these exercises is to strengthen the foundation, your glutes, hammies, particularly through the gait cycle. All right, next we got here is doing rear arm rows. You want to pretend as if you're pulling the weight like a lawnmower. It mimics the running motion of the arm drive back. So basically, as you can see, the form is there. Not too bad. You could start with a 10-pound weight. Like I said in another video, we can get into specifics. You can rewind and watch each of these moves to see what works best, for you, or if you forget some stuff. You also want to make sure you're doing both sides. A lot of the exercises I'm doing 2 sets of 10 at anywhere from 0 to 67% of my 1 rep max. So it's kind of for muscular endurance. 2 sets each. I work out twice a week doing these exercises. It's kind of like full body. So I don't really do crazy amount of core every day or stretching every day. So this is just another angle of me doing my goblet squat. You could see, make sure you clench the glutes, pelvic thrust. That's a lot of mistake a lot of people make. And my spine probably could be more neutral. Notice that my neck is back. Here is chest press. You want to do these on an incline. Like I said, 2 sets of 10. The fibers of the pec muscles are angled, so that's why you want to do them on an incline. This is more of a power move, but you do use your pec during running a little bit with the arm carry. So next, this one is a favorite of mine. It's called hip hikes. So basically you stand on one leg, you want your hips to be parallel to the ground, and what you can do is let the standing leg hip fail, so the opposite side drops as you see in the video, and then you use the same leg to pull the same side back up. So this really gets that glute med muscle, that hip stabilizer that tends to be weak in a lot of people, especially on people's left side, because we tend to be a lot more right side dominant. So this is a good one, especially if you're dealing with IT band issues. And the literature, probably strengthening of this muscle and rehab in general is your best bang for your buck when it comes to resolving IT band syndrome. But we could save that topic for another video. So, and here's me doing the other side. Make sure you want to do both sides. My right side, ironically, is a little bit weaker. I had severe IT band syndrome earlier this year, but I resolved it doing set exercises and a lot of soft tissue work or muscle work. So just working my right side here. Notice, try not to use the low back muscle. Keep all motion of the hip hike to the hip only. So place your thumb, you don't have to do it with weight either, but place your thumb where my thumb is and make sure you're using the proper muscles. Here is a modified calf raise. I like placing a ball in between my ankles because it forces activation of the muscles of the calf, particularly your big toe muscle, because I guarantee you a lot of you out there, when you try to do a calf raise, your feet go outward, which means your flexor hallucis longus muscle isn't working properly, which is common, and that could be due to footwear and whatnot, but another topic for another video. So basically doing calf raise here, and then next back flies. Not really running specific, but it helps with posture and opening up the chest. and strengthening the back muscles so that you're not running hunched over. So this would definitely help with like the posture aspect of running. Next here, we are doing lunges. My form obviously a little sloppy, and the angle is creating an illusion maybe. But I'm going with my right leg forward. You want to step forward. You don't want your knee going on your ankle. You don't want your hips to drop. And pushing off as if my foot were a tripod, not off just my heels or not off just my toes, which is a mistake a lot of people make. And see the fault there. I need to work on stability of my glute med and hip stabilizers, what we just discussed earlier. And I like to do those exercises first before doing one leg exercises, because it helps with the mechanics of the activation while you're doing the exercise. So, and I'm also dealing with a lot of smaller space here, trying to do a workout in a home gym. So as you can see, I can't bring my left leg out as far enough, but I figured this would be a good opportunity to set up a camera and film and not be in a gym setting. So there you go. Could be better. Like I said, 2 sets of 10 twice a week of each of these. Takes about a half hour. You do it half hour to 45 minutes if you do it pretty diligently. All right, next, this is one of my favorites. It's the Soleus. It's still a calf exercise, but the reason why we're doing it seated with the weight on top with the leg bent is that it gets that soleus muscle, which does not cross the knee joint, and joins the gastroc muscle into the Achilles. And this muscle is known as the second heartbeat, quote unquote, because it's the primary lymphatic drainage of the lower extremity when it comes to contraction. Okay, next is a compound movement I like to do towards the end after I have everything ready to go. And so you can't see much because I only have so much space, like I said earlier. But basically what I'm doing is sitting in a seated position and pushing off with one leg, driving the opposite leg, and taking that 7-pound weight and driving up to mimic the running motion. And then I'm also, when I get to the top of that single leg running motion squat, I contract the calf and just drive completely forward with my whole body. So this mimics running motion pretty well. With any exercise that you do in the gym, you want to have it pertain to your sport. So my sport is distance running, so you want the movements to mimic the motion of running as close as possible. And that's why we're doing all the exercises here. So think of Super Mario driving up to hit that question mark block. That's how I think of it. Focus on your form. Alright, next we have here is like a really modified good morning. This one's to focus on the low back muscles. Spine should be neutral, neck should be straight. You know, mine's a little bent, I'm being a little sloppy here. But I'm keeping motion, just using my low back muscles to activate and clenching my glutes when I get to the top of that motion. Yeah, my form's really sloppy here. So try to keep your spine more neutral. Probably be a lot easier if I had a barbell. So this is another one of my favorite ones. This is the single leg deadlift. You have a weight in one hand. The hand that has the weight is the leg that goes back, as you can see. And you want to focus on teeter-tottering at the waist and driving through with the glute and the hammy. So as you pull through, as you see here, I'm contracting the stance leg, glute, and hamstring, mimicking the drive phase of the gait cycle of running. This works really great for single leg, to mimic the motion of running. Especially running is essentially, you know, bounding from leg to leg. It may not seem like it, but you're jumping from leg to leg and you're pulling through with the stance leg. So this works really well in making you more efficient and less injury prone if you do this exercise. Alright, what I'm doing here is a plank. So this is going to be kind of boring to watch. Basically, when you're doing a plank, you want to make sure you're somewhat parallel to the ground. You want to contract your lower abs and your glutes, and you don't want to be shaking, swaying, or cheating by raising or lowering your pelvis, because that'll be cheating. So basically, I hold this for a little bit, and then I start to go into these side sways to work my oblique muscles, which will come up in a sec. The reason why I'm doing this exercise without shoes on is that it's more specific, obviously, to how the body is made. And when you're doing a squat and a shoe or whatnot, there's a heel to toe offset, and your body's not naturally made for that heel to toe offset, usually a couple millimeters. So I do it barefoot. You can also get proper foot mechanics going too as well. So here's the side to side, working my obliques within the plank. So this will help with torso rotation or excessive torso rotation, or slowing down torso rotation, which is wasted energy when it comes to running. Alright, and here's another angle of the exercise that I did prior in this video. It's a little better, but not 100%. Like I said earlier, I'm pushing off with the side that has the weight on, driving it up as if I was mimicking a running motion. I push off with my foot using my glute, and then I do a calf contraction to help with the drive rising up. So I am contracting my calf, my glute, my hammy, and the front of the right shoulder with that weight as I pull through. So it's mimicking running pretty well. And that's it for this pretty basic strength training video of what I do. Like I said, I do twice a week, 2 sets of 10 of each. If it has repetitions, maybe about 30, build up to a minute, seconds, like the plank holds and whatnot. You don't have to start with weight, you can start without weight, but the weight that I'm using is muscular endurance for me, which I'll eventually increase and do more explosive power moves later on, but that's a video for another day. So like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell for when I upload my next video. Comment down below which exercises you like, any questions you may have, and still coming up with ideas of what videos to do next. So yeah, so we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.